Well, hello, adventurers. This is Elvis Boy, and I am in Arizona. My new home base, Tucson, Arizona, is where I moved to, so I can go places from there. But today, I am on my way to visit someplace that is of some historical significance here in the Arizona area. It is near Casa Grande, Arizona, which is kind of between Tucson and Phoenix. And I am on the 85 freeway headed to a Native American historical site. And it's called the Casa Grande Ruins. Should be kind of interesting. Please subscribe to my channel, by the way. I would appreciate it. I enjoy, being kind of maybe a source of some joy and some smiles in people's lives. So I appreciate every single one of you. If you comment, I'll reply to everyone. I love your comments. So yeah, let's go check out the Casa Grande Ruins and see what that's all about. Casa Grande Ruins National Monument. So apparently they're open every day of the year except for Christmas, Thanksgiving, and the 4th of July. And it is free, from what I understand. Well, everybody, I just arrived at the ruins area, and I noticed off to one side there's a nice, really big picnic area here. If you bring your family or maybe a school group or something like that, good place for that. Look at this tree. It's not very historic, but I'm just fascinated by this particular type of tree. So beautiful. Very nice. There's a little walkway here. Let's go see where this thing goes. Oh, it looks like a crater of some sort out there. Does the hollow oval mound you see before you remind you of a sports stadium? Just like today's arenas, this ball court was a place where crowds of people regularly gathered more than 1,000 years ago. Every society needs public places to get together. Here's the ball court, platform mounds, and the Casa Grande all served as community centers for the ancestral Sonoran Desert people. And they played with stone balls. Wow, that's neat. From what I can tell here, I haven't gotten right up to the structure yet, but it looks pretty impressive. Let's go out there and check and see what that is out there first. There's entrances on all of these, so apparently they were all homes at one time. It's quite an eerie feeling being here because, you know, there's so much history. Imagine the life that people were living back then when there were hundreds of Native American people going in and out of these structures. And they had a village. I love this stuff. I find it just fascinating how this was all built out of adobe and maybe a couple of other things, but my gosh, this was constructed about 1,000 years ago. They think it was the early 1300s when this was constructed. This smaller building, just amazing. It's fascinating that some of the walls are still standing. being this old, there is no rebar in this. There is no, nothing that you would use for modern structural rigidity. And yet this was all built so well that part of it is still standing. Looks like you can see tiny shells in here as well. It says the walled compound where you're standing was just one community of a network of communities that were built along canal systems. An eagle flying over this Gila River Valley 1,000 years ago would have seen dozens of villages with wide irrigated fields. Extended families usually shared rooms and open areas within a compound like the one you are in now. Several compounds grouped together and they made up a village. Villages along a network of canals worked together to keep the irrigation water flowing into the fields. And the irrigation canals that they built around here were not to be scoffed at. They were at some points 22 yards wide, and they were all dug out by primitive tools. No backhoes used in this construction. It was backbreaking work for the Native American people. And a lot of it is still standing. They obviously built the cover there to keep the rain from eroding the structure any further than necessary. You can't get inside here because of the structural rigidity, and things could collapse at any moment. They are not sure what this structure used to be. Some people say that it was a structure built for administration of the canal network around here. Some people say it was used for living. Anyway, there's nothing for sure about why this was constructed, but it is just absolutely amazing. Wow. I can actually walk up these little steps. Ooh. Stick my camera up in there. Just unbelievable. Hey guys. Let's take a look in there. Let's take a look inside here. There's birds living in those holes. A little pigeon right there. So someone was in here, 1871. Somebody put their little scribblings in the rock there. Archaeologists don't know for sure. Its original purpose remains a puzzle. There's still more questions than answers. Was it an ancient astronomical observatory? Perhaps. Why did the walls line up north, south, east, and west? Unknown. We can still observe the sun and the moon, and they line up with certain holes in the wall before you, year in and year out. Were sacred ceremonies held here? Did a leader who oversaw the all-important irrigation canals work inside these rooms? Did an influential family or clan call the Casa Grande their home? The answers remain unknown. The Casa Grande likely served many purposes and many functions. Why do you think the ancestral Sonoran Desert people built this impressive multi-story building? So cool. I wonder what the ancient astronaut theorists say about the structure. It'd be interesting to find out if this has ever been on Ancient Aliens. Wow, I am so glad I came out here. We're getting ready to take a little tour of this facility, and so we'll learn a little bit more about this place. The ranger here, his name is Joe Gatterman, I believe, and he's going to give a little bit of a tour here.
Imagine that you were out here 800 years ago, and you look all around the perimeter. You see a wall about 12 to 18 inches high. But 750, 800 years ago, it was about 7.5 feet tall, all the way around. They didn't have doors, they didn't have turrets, they didn't have drawbridges. Instead, the wall came along here in about a 3-foot cut in the wall with a ladder. They didn't have stairs, they had a ladder to come up and over. We do not believe that this compound was used for defensive purposes. Instead, it was to delineate the lines of the community and secure everything inside, from coyotes, wolves, javelinas, things that go bump in the night. There were approximately 60 to 200 people that lived inside this compound. We believe that this house, the construction was completed about 1250, and then was in continuous use for approximately 100 years. What do you think this house is made out of?
It's adobe. It's sand and mud.
Sand, mud, water, and dirt, and
reinforced with grass.
Reinforced with caliche. If you look, you can see the little white pebbles in there. That's caliche. And the reason why I believe that caliche was so important, that this house is still standing 700, 800 years later, is because caliche is a calcium carbonate that partially dissolves when it gets wet, so it is able to repair fissures and damage in the wall. So unlike my house in Ohio that's 75 years old, where I've got concrete base all the way around, concrete foundation, that I'm already suffering water damage from. This thing is still here. You can see a hole right here. You can't see it from over there, but there's a hole here. There was holes built north, south, east, and west. The north one is collapsed, but the east, south, and west hole are still here. This is an engineering design that you find in the Middle East called a substack, or a wind tunnel. Cool air comes through and pushes the hot air out the top. So it's a method of cooling. Another method of cooling, pottery. You go ahead, fill up a jug with water, put a cloth over it, and that pottery sweats. And so you have your own natural swamp cooler. So it's incredible what they did. Not only made these 3.5-foot walls to keep the heat out, to keep the cold air out, but substacks, wind tunnels. You see Ocotillo. After probably the next rain that we get a 1/2 inch or more, you'll have little red buds, about 2-inch beautiful flowers on top. I noticed that Saguaro 2 weekends ago, they're already starting to get some. Hummingbirds, those of you that love hummingbirds go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs for Ocotillo when they have that red flower bloom. Practical purpose. The Ocotillo is one of the few plants that you can break off the branch, kick in a hole, plant it, water it, and it will root. You place many of these next to one another, and you have a living fence.
A barbed wire fence.
And so, mom, aunt, grandma, those jackrabbits and javelinas aren't going to be getting into your plants to eat all your hard work for your vegetable garden.
But hey, everybody, thank you very much for this amazing tour that we took. And thank you to our tour guide here, Joe.
And thank you very much. I really enjoyed going out with this gentleman and with 40 other people. I love it. People have an intellectual curiosity about our wonderful national parks, the finest system of parks in the world. Our country has beautiful, rich history,
Yep.
and we all get to share it with you. Thank you.
And thank you so much, everybody. Remember, embrace the positive stuff. Get rid of the negativity in your life. Remember, life's too short for anything but joy. Do something beautiful today, folks.